Hey everyone, welcome to another video view. This is the Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Prima Prime. You can see him there in front of his box. We'll go ahead and put him offside real quick right here. And yeah, you can see right here, the Transformers, the new Age of the Primes box, the new not Studio Series Generations line. The replacement for Legacy. And pretty much the same kind of box that the Studio Series has. It's kind of the same general makeover, although with, well, gold instead of blue. So yeah, Transformers logo, you got the golden Age of the Primes, you got the 13 Prima Prime. It's a little symbol right there, which is not Autobot or Decepticon. You got a nice bit of artwork right here of both his modes right there. You got the 20 steps right there. You got on the top here, you have 13 Prima Prime, Takara told me. On the side, you have, hey, look, a nice bit of artwork again, of him holding his sword and Transformers Age of the Prime. And Age of the Primes, and on to the side, till all are one, which is cool. And hey, look, there's some of the statues of the Primes right there. Of the 13, yes, they've confirmed they will release all 13 over the course of this line, which is pretty interesting over the course of the next few years. Yeah, Voyager class right there. On the bottom, you have some product information and what's included, and on the back, you have some product shots and copyrights and warnings, and yep, authentic Transformers, and yep, the 13 Prima Prime, and yeah, cool things and product shots, and yeah, and of course, yeah, plastic window if that's important. You also see in there the kind of the blue starry backdrop for the that thing, if you want to see that. That's a thing. Also comes with instructions, which are weird because he's got it's weird. His transformation is kind of, the entire time you feel like something's off, and you can't ever place it. Just you come together, it's like okay, it just feels wrong the entire time. I can't explain it, just other than all the angles are wrong. It's like everything shifted. It's almost like someone took your house, moved everything a little bit to like an inch to the left, and you're like, what? It's all slightly off to you. Yeah. Regardless, as a figure, yeah, you're looking at him, getting a close. He's kind of pretty decent looking. He's got a pretty odd looking head. This is a head that's based on which episode of G1 episode where they kind of had an unnamed generic Prime. I think it was I want to say it was season 3. I think it was one of the Rodimus was one of, oh no, I'm not worthy things going on. But yeah, decent. I think it's a decent head sculpt, although it's kind of, you got this kind of silvery thing with the white face, blue eyes, kind of bit of a. He's got a, it looks like he's got a, I'm not sure, it looks like a bit of a sneer. Got these weird little things on his thing, but yeah, he's mostly pretty much just whites, mostly white, a bit of this grayish color, and bits of splashes of blue here and there, but you can see that pretty much throughout his whole thing. Some nice tech detailing overall, but yeah, he's also got a bit of a backpack. He's got some translucent blue right there. Yeah, but generally, he's not too bad looking as a whole, generally. He just, a lot of people find him kind of bland, though. I'm not one of them. I don't think he's that really particularly bland. He's just kind of his monochromeness, I think, I'm fine with it personally, but I know a lot of people seem to not really like the monochrome nature of him particularly well. So, yeah. I think he looks alright. He's also kind of tall compared to a lot of other, you'll probably see in a second, but he's kind of tall, on the taller side for Voyager. Yeah. He's not too bad, I think, personally, but he's not my favorite, but he's not too bad. Articulation, he does have, it's the classic gamut of, he's got a ball-jointed head, so you got left and right, you got up and down, you got some waggle, his shoulders do a full 360. Outward is interesting, because, yeah, he's got, tab. He's got this whole shoulder pad thing, so yeah, his outward only goes this far before it just kind of stops, which is interesting. You got that shoulder pad thing right there, which, can also move right there like that. He does have a bicep swivel right there. His elbows can do a little bit more than 90 degrees. He does have a wrist swivel, which is nice. He does have a waist swivel. He's got this weird backwards ab joint. Sometimes he doesn't want to engage for some reason. There we go. Yeah, he can do this, which is interesting. As far as I can tell, this doesn't have any purpose because in the transformation, I thought maybe I was doing something wrong because I wasn't using it at all for the transformation. But nope, it just kind of does that for some reason. That's something you can do. Hips, you got forward right here, you got back right there that far. You do have these hip skirts that kind of get out of the way so you can go that far out, which, pretty much full splits. He does have a thigh swivel. His knees are weird because, you see the way his leg is sculpted, you're, trying to figure out where exactly. It's like, this is more or less straight right here. This is straight. So his legs are supposed to like this, but you feel like, yeah, it's kind of a weird thing because, there's this kind of a clicky point at the knee. His knees can actually bend pretty decently, but yeah, it's just this weird click point because there's this little notch right here. So he kind of almost naturally wants to stand like this, and you just can't help but feel like you look at it and kind of go, that can't be right. But no, that's how he wants to stand. So you got this weird thing going on. And you got a lot of them, almost the heroic portions that Takara likes to do for their masterpiece stuff. But anyway, so you also got the feet right here, can tilt right there like that, and they can go forward a little bit, they go back a smidge, and there you go. That's your articulation. It's not bad. It's just also we get the weird backwards ab crunch, but hey, I don't know. He also has a couple accessories. Namely, he's got a matrix, which is cool. It's just, it's just a silver and blue one. Nothing particularly special there. Yeah, you can open this up, and hey, look, there's a matrix chamber, and you plug this in. That, sort of way right there. Or, the other thing you do, which is, hey, look, there's other bits of accessory, which is a blade and a hilt. You can take the, plug this in like there, and then, hey, look, take the matrix and plug it into the hilt, and there, he's got a matrix blade, which is cool. There you go. Looks really nice. Looks kind of familiar. There you go. It's not bad at all, actually. Pretty cool, actually. And, of course, if you want to store this, you can also just take this and right here, I can't remember. This big old peg right here will just peg onto either side of this thing right there, and you can just store it on the back like that, and there you go. Like so. I'm going to go ahead and take the matrix here and just pop it into the chest, because otherwise, yeah. And of course, you can leave the matrix there for the alt mode as well. So there you go. So some quick comparisons. Don't have a whole lot to compare them to quite yet, because this is the first Prime I have. I'm hearing some people already have Alchemist Prime, which is what? Okay, sure. Wave 2, sure, already. Why not? I don't have Solus Prime yet either. I'm still waiting on a lot of the Deluxes to show up. But here's Vector Prime. From Legacy. My understanding is they're going to basically just re-release this guy in Age of the Primes. I'm not sure if they're going to make any tweaks to him, but basically they're just going to release his figure. So there's your 2 of your 13 Primes, I guess. Was that also? I didn't do this. I didn't think to do this last time when I reviewed Vector Prime here, but yeah, here's Vector Prime with his old Power of the Primes version, if you remember that. I didn't think to do that last time. This one does not like stand, but yeah. This is old. That's the last Vector Prime that we got released. I forgot that who was Vector Prime, so I forgot about that. So there's that. That comparison. And yeah, speaking of the Power of the Primes, here's the Power of the Primes versions of Prima Prime. Both of these are exclusive, if I remember correctly. This is the one that came with Punch Counter Punch, and this is the version that came with the Comic-Con Optimus Primal. So yeah, the only way to get these is to buy exclusives. So that was the only way to get Prima Prime back in Age of Power of the Primes. But now you can get one in retail, and it's bigger, and probably better, because not just a little tight Prime Master. What they call Prime Master. So yay! And yeah, just because line-wide, basically, hey, here's this line-wide standard, I guess. Here's Studio Series 86 Optimus, who's kind of the 13th Prime, sometimes, depending. And now we're Star Prime. Star Optimus Prime? Star Convoy? Yeah. He's now the 13th, I guess. So there you go. There's an idea there. So, yeah. Prima Prime. His robot mode, not bad. Articulation, pretty good. Kind of weird. The ab thing is weird, but yeah. To get him transformed into his vehicle mode, first thing is get this weapon out of the way. Just get that out of the way right there. And right here, what you want to do is, the forearms are weird. You have to split this. You have to split the forearm right here. You see this? There's a thing right here to, kind of back here, you can see this bit right here. So yeah, untap that and bring that around like that. And then you rotate at the bicep, like so. And then you close up the fist up in there like that, and just kind of leave that for now. Same thing over here. Yeah, bring this around, rotate the bicep, like so, and bring in the fist like that. And right here, you want to untab the backpack from the front right there. Just untab that, like so, bring that back like that. This you go ahead and then rotate, bring this back as much as you can. So then you can rotate this around right here. Then you take the wheels here and bring them around. They'll tab into the sides like that. And you can see tab in the side like that. Bring the head down, and there's a slot here which will go over this tab right here. I'm not sure why I did it like that, because I'd prefer to be able to hide the head away a little bit, but no, you're gonna have to do it like that for some reason. And then up here, what you want to do is you want to use these armatures. You want to get these tabs right here. You want to see those slots. You want to kind of line those up. So you want to bring this forward a bit. Just kind of line that up. More or less like that-ish. You're going to get that all lined up properly. top of that, this right here, this shoulder pad, there's a tab here which is going to go a little slot on the shoulder pad as well eventually, but yeah, so then you bring this down over top of this, and this will tab in right there and right there, like that. Then beforehand, yeah, then you kind of bring this down. This right here, there's these little notches right here. You see these little kind of tab things. There's little notches in the arms. You want to bring that over. So this will tab over top of that, and this one here, there's a little tab right here, which will go over that slot at the same time. This is one of the parts of the instructions do not make super clear, and yeah, it's like really easy to get things misaligned. But yeah, you do all that, and this right here can kind of tab over top. Hopefully, yeah, it'll line up right. This right here should tab over top of that tab on the shoulder piece as well. Should do it kind of automatically. Yeah, again, bring this over top, and this tabs in right there, and that did not go in properly. Yeah, that goes over top like that. And it tabs all in like that, and then make sure there's just enough clearance for the wheels too. You have to make sure that all's in setting properly, because yeah, the wheels should freely spin when it's all said and done, right? Like that. Then back here at the legs, you want to go ahead and do is take these wheels and untab them right here and bring them out. There's a double hinge right here. You want to bring them out like this, and then bring this out right here like this. Again, you can see that. Yeah, bring that out like there, and then right here, the foot will fold up, and this will tab into that little slot right there, and like that. Go ahead and bring these together, and it's easier to do it like this because there's kind of a keying on the tabs. Yeah, bring it in like that. And go ahead and rotate this around. These toes got to go underneath this, and you can see there's these little tabs right here, which go in little slots right there. So you got to make sure to line that all up. It's a bit of a pain too sometimes. I don't know why, but sometimes this doesn't line up, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. There we go. Get those tabbed in right there. Right there, tabbed in and tabbed in right there. Like that. And then bring this up. There's tabs right here. You kind of have to like bring it up and kind of push them up into those slots right there, because it's going to kind of open. So they don't. Sometimes they fight, and you'll get something like this. But see, this one's kind of sitting crooked. You just have to sit there and fight it until it like plays nice. It's still kind of sitting crooked, but not much I can do about that. There we go. And there we go. With that, you have Prima Prime in his vehicle mode. And yeah, Prima Prime turns into some weird Cybertronian van thing. Kind of odd looking. I mean, you got these weird offset wheels. You can see like the front wheels are close together and the rear ones. He rolls okay-ish. It's not amazing, but again, these rear wheels like to sit crooked, which is a little annoying. It's like no matter what I do, it's like, yeah, they just kind of do not want to sit nicely, and I can't figure out what the problem is. Apparently it's like a common issue, which is the rear wheels don't like to sit properly. He's got a cool little translucent cockpit thing going on right there. He's got this big old battering ram over front. And some of it, you saw, like some of the stuff can be really weirdly. It's like sometimes these legs sometimes the feet will easily just go right through it, and other times like something causes it to just like, nope, I'm just gonna jam up today. And I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong in that case. It's like I'm not changing anything when I'm doing. It just kind of doesn't want to cooperate until it does, and it's like it's weird. But you know, it's okay. Vehicle mode. It's also really simple getting here. It's kind of fairly well. I say very simple, but yeah, as I talked about, like all the angles are weird because, like, you see, it just everything feels just slightly off because, like, all the angles are kind of like you feel like, oh, wait, what? It comes in at that angle? Okay, sure, I guess, but yeah, I don't know, it's kind of weird. As for storage, he does have a couple things. Of course, the matrix is stored in the chest, but this thing right here, you can separate these pieces if you like. You can also just, if you want, you can store them on the side right here, like in any of those peg holes. But what you're supposed to do is right here, these have little holes on the side right here, and you take this little peg at the end, bottom of this, and you plug that in right there on either side. And then the sword right here, There's a little peg right up in there. I'm not sure how you can see that, but there's a little peg up in there. You take this and peg that over top of that, and this kind of almost like a little aerial right there, like a fin or something on the I guess vehicle mode here. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, so yeah, there's that, and there's also one other thing, which yeah, if you remove this, you have to remove this part for this. But there's a hover mode, which all you do is just you fold the wheels down right here like this, and then you fold these out like this, and that's the hover mode. Sure. Only problem is when you do that, now this thing is like, where you're supposed to put this, I guess now you have to put this somewhere else. Like that, because there's also the attack mode, I guess, which, yeah, again, just kind of plug this all in. I'm not going to get the matrix out. You're supposed to make the matrix out, but I'm not going to do that. And you just plug this in right here. Now you got a stabbing weapon at the front. Okay, you just stab people with your car. Or whatever. So, there you go, I guess, on that front. I don't know. There's something about just kind of underwhelming about this guy in so many ways. So particularly, yeah, you get to the vehicle mode and it's like, that's it. You get to the vehicle, you're like, oh, that's it? That's it? And it's like, huh. Yeah, it's just something underwhelming about this. Like, it's fine. Transformation's a little simpler than I'd hoped for, considering, the fact it's a Voyager. And it's not like he has a third mode or anything to make up for. It's just, or he does technically, I guess, have a third mode, but it's, well, barely involves anything, so, I don't know. Something about him just is kind of lacking. There's something lacking about this guy. But regardless, some comparisons. Again, here's a Vector Prime. Again, another Voyager you can see right there. That. And again, here's a Studio Series 86 Optimus. Right there, just to give you an idea on that front. Yeah, so, there you go. Yeah, so, as a whole, Prima Prime is weird. I don't know exactly how I feel about him. Just something about him feels lacking. His transformation could be weird. It's like, it's really simple, but other times, sometimes it fights me. I don't know why. It just feels like it wants to fight me. It doesn't want to actually come together properly. He's got, a lot of people don't like the fact he just feels very, bland. I don't quite agree on that, but his vehicle mode's lacking. His transformation's kind of weird and underwhelming. It's very simple considering the fact that he's a Voyager. I mean, he's fairly well filled out, all things. He doesn't really have a whole lot of hollow bits, which is good. I don't know. He's just there for me personally. It's like, if this is my first exposure really to the age of the primes, and like, huh. I mean, I guess not counting Vector Prime from previous line, but yeah, it's just kind of okay, I guess. I don't know. It's really hard to really like. I mean, Sword's cool, I guess, but I don't know. I don't mind his robot mode. It's just that the transformation and vehicle mode both kind of leave me a little, I guess. Something about them just feels off. It doesn't help that it feels like parts aren't quite fitting together properly. So I don't know. He's kind of a wash, I guess. He's like, yeah, if he ever goes on sale, which he might, considering he is a Wave 1 figure, who knows. But if he ever goes on sale, yeah, go ahead and pick him up. At the full $35 is a little hard. He's kind of a hard sell. So there you go on that front. So that's it for this video. I hope you found it informative. Entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my coffee and my Patreon. And I'll see you next time with another video review.